Hey guys, General here, back with another LEGO Fortnite tutorial, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can build your very own vehicle transport. Use this to airlift your speedsters, your off-roaders, your haulers, your custom-built vehicles. I hope you got your flexwood and frostpine ready for this one. Let's have some fun building. On screen now are the materials needed for each stage of this build. And you also need a village in the frost biome leveled up to about 8 or 9 to unlock the ancient floorings needed for this build. Alright, let's kick things off with the vehicle bay and frame. Place a small car jack down to get started, and then we're going to place down 6 ancient wide floor number 2 in a 2x3 configuration. Go ahead and use some stairs or jump pad nearby to hop on top of the build you got going here. And then you're going to place down a medium fender. And you're going to be placing a lot of these down, so let's make sure we get the first one right. You want to place it right here on the edge of this ancient flooring facing outward. Now the second medium fender, you're going to place 4 nodes over from the one you just placed. So count 1, 2, 3, 4, and now you have a 2-node gap in between the first and second medium fender. Go ahead and place it, and then you're going to repeat this pattern all the way to the end of the base. The pattern will fall short by 2 nodes, and you can go ahead and fill in that last gap with 1 additional medium fender. Now select Ancient Thin Floor 4 to place on top of and on the outermost edge of these fenders. This is actually the same length as the Ancient Floor Wide 2 that we used for the base, so you should be able to place 3 of these in a row to match the length of the base. Now select Large Fender and place 2 of these on either end of this wall, such that the edge of the large fender is as close as you can get to the edge of the thin flooring while still touching. Now get your Ancient Thin Floor number 4 back out and place 3 more of these on top of and centered on the large fenders. Lastly, get 2 more medium fenders out and place them at the ends and on the inside edge of the ancient thin floors. Now repeat everything we just did on the other side of the airship space. Once both bay walls are done, select Ancient Wide Floor number 2, the same one we used for the base, and place 6 of these in that same 2x3 configuration. If you've done everything right so far, the corners should line up perfectly on top of those 4 medium fenders. Now for the upper deck access. Place an Ancient Floor 1 on the side of this Ancient Thin Floor railing here, and you can use the snap feature and then nudge it to the right 4 nodes. Then on the back side of the Ancient Floor, place 2 side-by-side medium fenders. Then on top of these fenders, nudge and place 2 more fenders as far back as you can to create sort of a makeshift staircase. Then place an Ancient Floor 2 right here on top of the fenders and underneath the vehicle bay ceiling. Now repeat these steps on the other side. And the last part for the vehicle bay, on the front of the ceiling, place 2 Ancient Floor number 2s. You can center these by snapping to the middle of the ancient wide floor and then nudge inward 4 nodes. And that concludes stage 1 of the build. Stage 2 of the build is going to be the cabin. Grab your resources and head to the top of the vehicle bay. Place down 2 platform bumper number 2s centered and on the outermost edge of these Ancient Floor 2s. Then, using the snap feature, snap another platform bumper to its side. Nudge back until it's barely touching, and repeat for the other side. Now place your vehicle window centered and on the outermost edge of platform bumper 2. Then place another vehicle window at a 90-degree angle with the front window such that they come to a point as shown here, and repeat this for the other side. Next, select enclosed cabin rear. Line it up such that the window is blocking its placement by just one node. Then nudge it outwards until it becomes placeable and place it there. Add 4 more of these on this side and then repeat for the other side. Then bust out the middle enclosed cabin rears to make a door on either side. Place 3 more facing inward as the back wall. Once these walls are done, select platform bumper 2 and use the snap feature to place and center these on top of each enclosed cabin rear all the way around. Then place 2 medium fenders on this back edge to give you roof access. Climb up and then place 6 ancient wide floor number 1s in a 2x3 configuration, starting from the front to make up the roof. Use 3 ancient floor 2 pieces to finish out the roof on the back end here. To finish out the cabin, place a large drive seat inside and a medium cabin roof centered on the top of the front windows and nudged all the way back up to the edge of that ancient floor. Alright guys, you completed stage 2 of the build. At this point, you can get rid of this cart jack as it'll be easier to work on stage 3 if the ship is lower to the ground. Alright, let's tackle stage 3 of this build, the engines. Starting with the front left engine, first step is to place ancient floor 2 on the corner of the vehicle bay. Then snap ancient floor 3 to the edge and nudge it to the right so that it's flush with ancient floor 2's edge. Snap an additional one to the front of ancient floor 3. Now we're going to place platform bumper 2s on either end of these ancient floors, all the way to the outermost edge. Now snap an additional platform bumper 2 to the edge of these ones on the end, and nudge inward as far as you can while keeping the bumpers connected. Repeat this for the other side as well. For the front engine, you'll be snapping 4 balloons to the inside wall of the platform bumpers, and you want to do it all the way up to the front edge. Now place and center 2 ancient floor 3s on the top of the platform bumpers to hide and protect the balloons. For the bottom side of the engine, you'll place platform bumper 2s in the exact same configuration as the top. And once you have that blocked in, place a large thruster in all 4 corners within the platform bumpers. We'll be placing 2 forward thrusters on the back of the engine here. The platform bumper 2 has 3 snap nodes on this side, so we're going to snap 1 large thruster to the outermost snap point on this upper platform bumper, and then another one to the innermost snap point on the lower platform bumper. Now repeat everything we just did for the front left engine for the front right engine, as they are a mirror image of each other. The steps for the rear thrusters are nearly identical to the first 2 engines, but with 2 small differences. So place ancient floor 2 on the corner of the vehicle bay, and then snap ancient floor 3 to the edge and nudge it to the right so it's flush with ancient floor 2's edge. Snap an additional one to the back of ancient floor number 3. Now, just like the other engines, place a platform bumper 2 on either end of ancient floor, and box it in with 4 more platform bumpers. Now here's the first instance in which this engine differs. When you snap the balloons to the inside of the bumper, don't go all the way up to the back edge, but instead nudge it forward just 2 nodes and then place 4 balloons in a row. This subtle difference helps the vehicle transport naturally lean slightly backwards, which makes it easier to get this giant ship to go in reverse on lift when you need it to. Now finish enclosing the engine and then add on those platform bumpers on the bottom, placing 4 large thrusters within exactly the same way as you did on the previous 2 engines. Now the second difference with these rear engines is the reverse thruster. You need to place 1 large thruster on the middle snap point on the bottom platform bumper. Now repeat everything we just did for the rear right engine on the rear left engine, as they are a mirror image of each other. The last part of the engine stage are these counterweight thrusters. Try your best to place these in the middle of the large fenders here and the ancient thin flooring in the middle, but if they're not centered, it's not the end of the world. I recommend only enabling these thrusters when you have an off-centered heavy load anyways. Alright, let's configure all these thrusters. Before we forget, let's disable all of these counterweight thrusters. Reserve these for uneven loads. For instance, if you parked a hauler in here and it leaned to one side, you might want to enable a couple of these thrusters on that side. Now, if you've seen my troop transport tutorial, this next portion should feel very familiar to you. The reverse thrusters and most of the lift thrusters remain unchanged, set to the default channel 3. Now, starting with the front left engine, we'll adjust the 2 forward thrusters to channel 1, as well as the innermost lift thruster. Now repeat this for the rear left engine. Now for the right side engines, we follow the same steps, but set the forward thrusters and inner lift thruster to channel 2 instead of 1. Alright guys, you did it! The base model is complete. Now let's add some customizations. I went light on the customizations this time as the video was already getting long, but I've already got some ideas of what I'd like to try out with all this space in the cabin. Tell me in the comment section below what kind of customizations you would do with the vehicle transport. For now, let's just place down some passenger seats and some exterior lighting. I deliberated whether to consider this additional armor base or customization. I think the ship looks better without it, so I'm going to call it customization, but it really does do a lot to help protect these engines if and when you crash it into things. Although I haven't shown many of my crashes to date, stick with me to the end of the video and see one of my epic fails in the vehicle transport. Something I didn't do in the troop transport tutorial was provide much guidance when it came to flying, so I wanted to walk you through the basic controls for the vehicle transport. Pushing channel 3 is going to lift your ship higher up into the air and move it back just slightly. Pushing channel number 2 is going to turn the ship to the left and roll slightly. And pushing channel number 1 is going to turn the ship to the right and roll slightly. And now using channels 1 and 2 at the same time is going to move your ship forward evenly. Now for the big turns, for instance, if you're going to turn hard to the right, you might want to pair channel 1 and channel 3 together. That's going to make the ship turn at a sharper degree. Likewise, pairing channel number 2 and number 3 together is going to make the ship take a sharp left turn and pick up a lot of speed. Now for landing this, I recommend wide open spaces. You can simply let go of all of the channels and let the ship float back down to the ground naturally. I'm going to go ahead and try to bring this ship in and land it in my vehicle warehouse. It's kind of a tight fit, so I wouldn't recommend making that your permanent parking space for your vehicle transport. And I nailed it. Sort of. Alright, let's even this thing up. Alright guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch the vehicle transport tutorial. Let me know down in the comment section if you decided to build the vehicle transport. This is the General, and until next time, have fun building. Oh god. Oh god, this isn't good. Oh. Well, that just happened. I guess this is a good chance to test out the new flip feature they added in the last release. Let's see if we can flip this thing over. It's actually working. Oh god, there goes the back engine. And we are up. It lives. It lives.